lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Here's Fields. And his throw is incomplete. The Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then. That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
First down, here's Cousins. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Chicago. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. The Vikings at 12-4 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Try to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot, because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Danielle Hunter, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Playoff picture here, and you see they've got that number 2 spot right now. Obviously a lot to like about that and where they're at in this home stretch of the season, but that first-round home game is not guaranteed, Charles, until they lock up their division.
Bottom line, win the division, stay number 2, we get a favorable game at home to begin what you hope will be a nice postseason run.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. To throw, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st. Now Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, it's Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
Throwing is Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up.
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he'll go down And the Bears get there for the sack. Robert Quinn, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. After one, it's 9-0. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. On the return is Pettis. Nifty move. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bears take over. So it's all down to this, Week 18 on the NFL schedule. And that means that once we sort things out, we'll all be set for our 2nd ever Super Wild Card weekend, which I think everyone agrees was a runaway success last year. We've got 2 games coming up on Saturday, 3 more on Sunday, and then we'll put a bow on it Monday night. 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Fields over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the 1st. Fields. But I think the ball's out, and the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football. Well, this hasn't been their cleanest first half of football. Last thing they wanted to do was give it up to the opposition, but able to keep it as it goes out of bounds. Yeah, tough first half, no doubt about it, but if they turn it over there, now things turn a little, how would you say it, dire, and they didn't need that hassle at all. So being able to take care of the football is paramount. Fortunate bounce for them there in order to retain it. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down. And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Matt Araiza now on to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it. Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset. 23 yards, the final tally. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now. And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there. It only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. But not much on that run, Charles. No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground.
honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up for a 1st and goal.
Cook will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Fields. Got an open man, it's Pringle. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth, yes, and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fields now to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This one swung out to Montgomery. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Meanwhile, Fields' throw here into the hands of Harry. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the 5.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On 1st down, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. To the air again, Fields. Catch is made by Herring. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Here's Fields. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Danielle Hunter able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to only 30 minutes left in the regular season, and everybody's excited for the playoffs, so we're just going to forget the halftime show and get back to the football. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Room to run at the 50. Kene Nwangu. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
That was a special return. And it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
Well, let's be honest. A lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. Well, here we sit, week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
Back to Montgomery on second down. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain. His guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really... And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Asezi Atomewo brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And it will be Vikings ball, first and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon. Cousins now. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field.
It was touchdown. Dalvin Cook. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Vikings are an extra point away from going up by 30. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. And he finds Montgomery complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So just 3 yards on the completion there. 3rd and 7 now. Here's Fields. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd and 12, Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now back to throw. Throwing for Montgomery. He's got him on the out route. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll make a small dent in that big deficit as it's down to 27. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Steps away to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now left side on the swing pass, and they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
That's the end of the 3rd.
Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Cousins able to find Jefferson here, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 21.
1st down, Minnesota.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Now he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw, Fields. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
That's good for the Chicago Bears.
Back to throw. Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
Complete to David Montgomery. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. At the 47.
Fields. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now Fields. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. 4th down. Fields has to have this one. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. First down. Here's Cousins. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big gainer there on the catch and run. 37 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. 2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. Now Cousins. His pass caught at the 4. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll throw again. Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And the Bears are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for a defense because when they came out on the field, their #1 mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap. Fields able to hit his target, Claypool. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now it's Fields. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd and inches. Fields looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Over this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one, and that's what's helped.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jaquan Brisker in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Cousins here to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled. Fields on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Throwing here, Cousins. And that is caught, and the record is his. It's a touchdown. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Bears take over a first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.